Here is something that should bother you. The average American household pays $1,400 a year in electricity bills. That number has climbed nearly 30% in the last 4 years alone. And in a farmhouse in rural Ohio in 1922, a family of 5 ran their lights, their water pump, and their entire workshop off a creek that ran behind their property. Their electricity bill was zero. Every single month. Every single year. Before this video ends, I am going to show you a 1924 Rural Electrification document from the University of Wisconsin Extension Service that described small-scale water and wind power systems installed on over 12,000 American farms before the utility companies lobbied to make them illegal to connect to the grid. Illegal to connect, not illegal to build. The American utility industry generates over $500 billion annually. A farmhouse that generates its own power is a customer they lose forever. That is not an accident. You already know this technology. You have seen a windmill on every old farm you have ever driven past. You have seen a water wheel on every historical mill in every small American town. You have watched a pinwheel spin in the wind since you were a child. The physics behind all three is identical. Moving air or moving water spins a rotor. The rotor turns a shaft. The shaft drives a generator. The generator produces electricity. Your great-grandfather understood this without an engineering degree. The ancient Persians used vertical wind catchers to power grain mills in 500 BCE. Dutch windmills have been generating mechanical power continuously since the 13th century. Water wheels in colonial America powered sawmills, flour mills, and farm workshops across every state with a running creek from the 1600s onward. 3 civilizations, over 1,000 years of continuous proof, all using the same principle your utility company now charges you $1,400 a year to replicate with their infrastructure. Here is the science in 3 plain sentences. A spinning rotor converts kinetic energy, the energy of movement, into mechanical energy, and then into electrical energy through a simple generator coil. The output depends on 2 things only: the speed of the moving air or water, and the diameter of the rotor catching it. Think of it like this. Your electric meter measures current flowing one direction into your house. A micro generator sends current flowing the other way. The same physics, the opposite direction. I came to this properly last winter when my electricity bill hit $212 in a single month. I pulled a 1924 Rural Electrification document from the University of Wisconsin Extension Service. It described a small water wheel system built by a farmer named Earl Hutchinson in Portage County, Ohio, in 1922. He used a salvaged cast iron pipe, a hand-cut wooden paddle wheel, and a surplus generator from a decommissioned telephone exchange. Total materials cost adjusted to today, under $30. It powered his workshop lighting and his water pump from October through April every year for 19 years. I read that document for a long time. Here's the version you can build today for $2. This is the micro wind rotor system, the entry point of the entire off-grid power category. Here is the parts list. And this is genuinely it. One $2 sealed bearing from any hardware store or online. This is your rotor hub. The bearing allows smooth rotation with almost zero friction. PVC pipe, 3/4 of an inch diameter, available at any hardware store. Cut 4 blades at 45-degree angles, each 12 inches long. Total cost for a 3-foot section, under $2. 1 salvage stepper motor, pulled from an old printer, a treadmill, or a scanner. These are available at thrift stores, electronics recyclers, or online for $1 to $3. A stepper motor generates alternating current when its shaft is rotated manually. This is your generator. 1 small rectifier bridge converts alternating current to direct current. Available online for under $1. Total system cost, $2 to $4 depending on what you already have. Now, here is how it works. Mount the bearing at the center of a wooden base. Attach the 4 PVC blades around the bearing hub at equal angles. Connect the bearing shaft directly to the stepper motor shaft using a short rubber coupling. Wire the motor output through the rectifier bridge to a small battery. A 12-volt motorcycle battery works perfectly. In a consistent 10-mile-per-hour wind, the average backyard wind speed across most of the United States, This system generates enough current to charge the battery continuously. That battery runs LED lighting, phone charging, a small radio, or powers a drip irrigation pump for a garden. It is not a whole house solution. It is the first step of a system your great-grandfather understood completely. Now here is the part most people miss, and it multiplies the output without adding any cost. Stack the rotors vertically on the same shaft. 2 rotors on the same pole doubles the blade surface catching wind. 3 rotors triples it. The motor and battery stay the same. The output increases proportionally with every rotor added. Earl Hutchinson's 1922 water wheel used exactly this principle, 4 paddle stages stacked on a single horizontal shaft over the same creek. He did not build a bigger wheel. He stacked 4 smaller ones. Why does the average American household pay $1,400 a year to a utility company for electricity? Why did 12,000 American farms have their own generation systems in 1924 and almost none do today? Why did utility companies lobby state legislatures across America to require permits, inspections, and grid connection fees for any home generation system producing more than a few watts? You already know the answer. The 1924 Rural Electrification document did not disappear. It just stopped being handed down at the same time utility infrastructure expanded into every rural county in America and made it easier to pay the bill than to understand the alternative. Somewhere in the last 100 years, a family skill that 12,000 American farms practiced openly became a niche hobby that requires a permit in most states to connect to anything. The physics did not change. The wind still blows at 10 miles per hour across most American backyards. The creek still runs behind properties across every rural county in this country. The stepper motor still generates current when its shaft rotates. The bearing still costs $2 at the hardware store. Nothing about the underlying system changed. Only the cultural memory of how to build it disappeared. I do not know what brought you here today. Maybe your electricity bill crossed a number last winter that you could not justify. Maybe you live on a property with a creek or a consistent wind, and you have been looking at it differently ever since prices started climbing. Maybe someone in your family used to talk about the old windmill that stood behind the barn before the power lines came through. Maybe you are building the kind of household that does not depend on a utility company to keep the lights on. It does not matter which one. The bearing costs $2. The motor costs $3 at a thrift store. The PVC pipe costs $2 at any hardware store. And the wind has been blowing for free across every American backyard since long before anyone thought to charge you for what it can do. Now you know how to use it. The knowledge is yours now. See you soon. Next video, I am going to show you the plant that Rockefeller's pharmaceutical companies made illegal to grow in 1937. It grows wild in every state in America. And before it was banned, every farmhouse kept it as their primary medicine cabinet. See you then.